I'm Jeb Butler of the Butler Law Firm. Today we'll be talking about the different types of insurance that we see in personal injury cases. We'll first talk about 5 different kinds of insurance that can apply to accident cases, whether they're car accidents, truck accidents, or involve motorcycles, bicycles, or pedestrians. And then we'll talk about 3 other kinds of insurance that apply in other types of cases. In most accident cases, the first kind of insurance we deal with is auto liability coverage. This is the kind of insurance coverage that every driver in Georgia is required by law to have. It covers acts of negligence or mistakes by that driver. The minimum limits, the smallest insurance policy you can have that complies with the law, is for $25,000. But they go on up from there. Policies of $50,000 or $100,000 are not uncommon. We've sometimes seen auto liability policies as large as $500,000. The next is coverage. Stands for either uninsured motorist coverage or underinsured motorist coverage. In Georgia, there's no practical difference between the two. Coverage helps if there isn't enough auto liability coverage. Coverage is coverage that you have, that the injured person has, and it's what kicks in if the at-fault driver either violated the law by not having any insurance or didn't have enough insurance to cover your injuries. Next is MedPay, or medical payments coverage. This is insurance usually in smaller amounts, $1,000 to $5,000, that can be used to cover medical bills, usually pretty quickly after an accident. This is insurance that you have that can cover your own medical bills. Next is personal umbrella coverage. And this is relatively rare. Most people don't have it, but some wealthy people will have personal umbrella coverage that provides liability insurance over and above the auto liability policy. For example, someone might have an auto liability policy in the amount of $500,000 and then a personal umbrella policy in the amount of $1 or $2 million that would start to pay if the auto liability policy got all used up in covering the injuries caused by the accident. Last in this column is the CGL, or Commercial General Liability Policy. This is the kind of liability policy that most small businesses have to cover liability incurred by the business itself or its employees. The amount can vary widely between $1 and $5 million, and it usually can cover car accidents. Our firm, for example, carries a Commercial General Liability Policy. A homeowner's policy means what it sounds like. It's a liability policy that a homeowner has to protect against things like a premises liability claim or an animal attack claim. But normally it does not cover an accident case. Malpractice coverage, or errors and omissions coverage, or E&O coverage, is something that professionals have. It's liability coverage, and it applies to any kind of professional who wants to buy it. Engineers can have malpractice coverage, so can doctors, so can lawyers. Our firm, for instance, carries malpractice coverage that we've never had to use. Last, some governmental entities carry insurance. Governmental entities can, and sometimes do, insure themselves against all kinds of things. They can be insured against police brutality by their officers, by sexual misconduct in their schools, or sometimes for automotive collisions that their employees get involved in.